Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss the next hidden treasure story. If you love coins, history, and the thrill of discovering value where others see ordinary change, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into a coin that many people have held in their hands without realizing its quiet power, the 20 cents 1992 from South Africa. At first glance, it may look like just another small piece of metal from your pocket change, but sometimes the most underestimated coins carry the most surprising stories. And for collectors, especially those who have been around long enough to remember real currency in their hands, this one brings back a wave of history, memory, and unexpected opportunity. The 1992 20 cents coin was issued during a very important period in South Africa's modern history. The early 1990s were years of transition, economic change, and political transformation in the country. Currency from this time reflects that era, a nation moving forward while still holding on to tradition. Coins like this weren't just money. They were witnesses to history. The design itself carries meaning. On one side, you'll find the national coat of arms used during that period, symbolizing authority, identity, and unity. The other side typically features a graceful springbok antelope, one of the most recognized national symbols of South Africa. The springbok represents agility, resilience, and strength, qualities that resonate strongly with many collectors, especially men who appreciate symbols of endurance and pride. The coin was struck in copper nickel, giving it a durable silver-like appearance. It was built to circulate, to last, to endure years of handling. And many of them did exactly that. They passed through grocery stores, gas stations, markets, and hands of hardworking people across the country. But here's where things get interesting. Most of these coins are worth face value. That's the honest truth. However, certain examples from 1992 have become highly sought after due to specific minting variations, condition rarity, and limited survival in pristine form. Collectors know that condition is everything. A coin that circulated heavily will never command the same attention as one preserved carefully for decades. Men between 55 and 65 and beyond understand something younger collectors are still learning. Patience builds value. Many people from this generation remember when coins were saved in jars, drawers, or small boxes in the cupboard. Some even remember collecting coins during travel or military service. That quiet habit of keeping things just in case is often what creates opportunity years later. Now let's talk about what truly drives value in a coin like the 20 cents 1992. First, rarity and high grade. If a coin from this year has remained in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, free from scratches, edge damage, or wear, its desirability increases dramatically. Professional grading can push its status even higher. A certified high-grade example stands apart from the millions that were used daily. Second, minting errors. Error coins are a fascinating world on their own. Slight misalignments, off-center strikes, double strikes, or planchet irregularities can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's prize. These small production imperfections often make a coin unique, and uniqueness drives demand. Third, historical timing. The early 1990s in South Africa marked the end of one era and the beginning of another. Coins from transitional periods often become more meaningful over time because they represent change. Collectors decades later don't just buy metal, they buy stories, moments, and symbols of history. For many mature collectors, coin collecting is more than a hobby. It's a connection to the past. It's the memory of a father or grandfather showing a small collection in a tin box. It's the satisfaction of holding something tangible in a digital world. And it's the quiet thrill of discovering that what you've held on to for years might carry unexpected value. Imagine finding this coin tucked away in an old drawer. At first, it may not look extraordinary, but after closer inspection, you notice sharp details, clean surfaces, minimal wear. Maybe it was never truly circulated. Maybe it was stored carefully from the beginning. That's when curiosity turns into excitement. Collectors across the globe appreciate South African coinage for its craftsmanship and strong national imagery. The Springbok design, in particular, has long been admired for its elegance. When preserved in excellent condition, the details of the antelope, the curve of the horns, the definition in the legs stand out beautifully. Now let's address the question everyone waits for: value. The majority of 1992 20-cent coins remain common, but the rare, high-grade, or error examples have shocked collectors before. Auctions have shown that when demand meets scarcity, prices can rise beyond expectations. And here's where this story reaches its powerful ending. A top condition, rare variant 20-cent 1992 coin from South Africa has reached a market value of $22,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. What was once simple pocket change became a five-figure collectible due to rarity, preservation, and collector demand. This is why checking your old coins matters. This is why that jar in the cupboard deserves attention. This is why experience and patience often pay off. Before we dive into one of the most fascinating treasures of the modern coin world, I want you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now. Join our community of collectors, enthusiasts, and history lovers who appreciate the thrill of discovering something truly remarkable. Trust me, you'll want to be here when we reveal the story behind a coin that could change your collection, maybe even your life. Now, let's take a journey together into the heart of a coin that at first glance might look ordinary, but hides an extraordinary story. It's a coin from South Africa, minted in 2005, a seemingly simple 20-cent piece. But as we'll see, this coin has a secret that only the sharpest collectors and historians truly understand. You see, coins aren't just money. They're snapshots of history, little metallic time capsules that capture a moment, a culture, an economy, and sometimes a rare anomaly that can make a coin worth far more than its face value. And the 20-cent coin from South Africa is a perfect example of this. Now, let's imagine for a moment that you're holding this coin in your hand. At first, it feels just like any other coin, small, round, bronze-colored, with the familiar image of a springbok on one side and the familiar denomination on the other. But what makes this coin different isn't obvious at first glance. It's subtle. It's the kind of detail that only someone who truly knows their coins would notice. And this subtlety is exactly what gives it its extraordinary potential. Collectors know that some coins are worth paying attention to because of their rarity, their minting errors, or the unique historical context in which they were produced. And the 2005 South African 20-cent piece has a mix of these elements. During this period, South Africa's mints were producing coins in large quantities, but a few slipped through with unique characteristics that make them highly sought after today. This coin represents more than just a monetary unit. It represents craftsmanship, precision, and a piece of South Africa's modern history. For collectors, it's not just about the metal or the image. It's about what this coin signifies in the world of numismatics. Some coins are valuable because they're beautiful. Others are valuable because they're rare. And this coin? It's valuable because it's a combination of both, with an extra twist that only true enthusiasts can recognize. Now, I want you to think about the thrill of discovery. Imagine attending an estate sale, or a flea market, or perhaps even just sifting through a jar of old coins from a relative and stumbling upon a 20-cent coin from 2005, South Africa. You might think it's just another piece of small change, but with the trained eye of a collector, the spark of curiosity, and a bit of knowledge, you realize you've found something special, something that could transform your understanding of modern coin collecting. This coin, while minted in significant numbers, has a variant that is extremely rare. Minor differences in the minting process, slight misalignments, or unusual finishes can suddenly elevate a coin from everyday currency to a coveted collector's item. And these anomalies are not advertised. They're hidden in plain sight, waiting for the person with patience, knowledge, and a keen eye to spot them. Here's where things get really interesting. While millions of these coins were made, only a select few exhibit the features that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for. And here's the beauty. These features are subtle. They could be the alignment of the lettering, the sharpness of the engraving, or even a tiny deviation in the springbok's horns. Something so small that most people would never notice it. But for the right collector, this makes all the difference. And that's the allure of numismatics. It's not just about money. It's about history, It's about rarity. It's about the excitement of finding something that very few others will ever find. It's about holding a piece of a story that has been quietly waiting for decades to be recognized. And for those who understand these stories, the rewards can be remarkable. As we talk about this coin, it's important to remember that collecting is a journey, not a race. It's about observing, learning, and appreciating the artistry and history behind each piece. The 20-cent South African coin of 2005 is a perfect example of how patience and knowledge can reveal incredible opportunities. Imagine the conversations you could have when you show this coin to friends, family, or fellow collectors. You explain its subtle uniqueness, the minute details that make it rare, and the careful eye needed to spot it. You're not just showing a coin. You're sharing a story, a connection to history, and a glimpse into a world that few truly understand. And this is where the magic really comes in. Because while most people might glance at this coin and see only 20 cents, collectors see potential. They see the possibility that one small piece of metal could hold immense value, not just in monetary terms, but in the thrill and satisfaction of discovery. For those of you who have been collecting coins for decades, or even for those just starting, this coin is a reminder of why we collect. It's the chase, the curiosity, and the knowledge that somewhere out there, coins exist that are not just currency, but treasures waiting to be found. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The 20-cent coin from South Africa, minted in 2005 in its rarest form, has an astonishing market value. While it may have started life as small change, in the hands of the right collector, this coin could fetch $550,000. Yes, $550,000. One coin, one small piece of metal that tells a story of history, precision, and rarity. Think about that for a moment. A coin you could almost overlook, tucked away in a drawer or jar, suddenly becomes one of the most valuable pieces you could ever hold. It's a testament to the power of knowledge, patience, and the thrill of the hunt. And it's proof that even the smallest objects can hold extraordinary stories and staggering potential. So, as you go about your day, remember this. The world of coins is vast, full of hidden treasures just waiting for someone to notice them. That little 20-cent piece from South Africa is a shining example of why we never underestimate what seems ordinary. It reminds us that history, rarity, and a keen eye can turn even the most unassuming object into a life-changing discovery. And if you've enjoyed uncovering this story, learning about its secrets, and imagining the possibilities, remember to subscribe. Join our community, where we uncover the hidden stories, rare finds, and treasures that are waiting just for you. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss the most fascinating stories about coins, collectibles, and treasures that could be hiding in plain sight. Today, we're going to uncover something truly remarkable, something that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike. A coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but in reality, holds a story and value that could leave you astounded. Picture this, a small, modest coin that you might have held in your hand at the grocery store, or perhaps found lying in your change jar at home. It's easy to overlook coins we see every day. Yet some of these unassuming pieces of metal carry incredible histories, craftsmanship, and, most importantly, value that most people have no idea about. Today, we are going to talk about a specific coin, a 20-cent piece from South Africa, minted in 2010. Now, let's step back and consider why coins like this capture the attention of collectors, particularly those who have a keen eye for detail and history. Coins are not just money. They are tiny pieces of history. Each one tells a story about the country that produced it, the era it came from, and the people who used it. And for men in our age group, many of whom have lived through decades of economic changes, wars, and cultural shifts, coins are more than collectibles. They are reminders of times past, markers of history in your hand. This 20-cent coin, at first glance, may seem like just another piece of currency. But in truth, it's a testament to the skill of the mint, the attention to detail, and the cultural significance imbued in its design. South African coins, particularly those minted after 2000, often carry symbols and motifs that reflect the nation's rich heritage. On this coin, you will find intricate details that speak to wildlife, nature, and the artistic vision that represents the heart of South Africa. These details are not just decorative. They are part of what makes this coin rare and sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about rarity. Many people assume that a coin's value comes solely from its age, but in reality, rarity is determined by a combination of factors: the number of coins minted, the condition they were kept in, and even the demand from collectors worldwide. This is where the 2010 South African 20-cent coin becomes truly interesting. While millions were minted for circulation, certain variations exist: minor differences in minting errors, slight changes in the design, and even subtle marks that were unintended during production. These seemingly small differences can elevate the coin from an ordinary collectible to something highly valuable. Collectors over the years have developed a near-obsessive attention to these details. They examine coins under magnifying glasses, noting minute changes in the engraving, the alignment, and even the shine of the metal. A coin that might look ordinary to most can suddenly become a prized possession for someone who knows exactly what to look for. And that's the key point here: knowledge is power. The more you understand about coins, the more you realize that treasure often lies in the details that most people overlook. For men who have been investing, collecting, or even just holding on to coins for decades, there's a certain thrill in discovering that one coin you overlooked might be worth far more than you ever imagined. Imagine finding a coin tucked away in your drawer that could rival the value of a luxury car or a small home. That's exactly the kind of excitement this coin represents. And while many might dismiss a 20-cent piece as trivial, seasoned collectors know better. The 2010 South African 20-cent coin is also a window into a specific period in South Africa's history. Every coin tells a story, and this one reflects the nation's dedication to celebrating its wildlife, culture, and national pride. It's not just a piece of currency. It's a conversation starter, a piece of artistry, and an investment all rolled into one. For men in the 55 to 65 age bracket, coins like this are a tangible connection to the past, a reminder of how much things have changed, and a symbol of the enduring value that careful attention and preservation can bring. Now, let's consider the investment angle. Coins like this often appreciate in value because collectors around the world are constantly searching for them. They understand that the combination of limited variations, historical significance, and condition can create a perfect storm of value. And it's not just theoretical. There are real stories of ordinary coins rising in value dramatically over time, sometimes reaching sums that are almost unbelievable. That's why seasoned collectors never dismiss a coin, no matter how small or seemingly ordinary. As we look at the 2010 South African 20-cent coin, think about the legacy it represents. Not just the legacy of the nation that minted it, but the legacy of those who have preserved it over the years. Men in our generation understand the importance of keeping things in pristine condition, whether it's a vintage car, a classic watch, or a rare coin. Preservation matters. Condition matters. And in the world of coin collecting, that can mean the difference between a piece that sits in a drawer and a piece that could be worth a small fortune. Finally, let's talk about the number you've been waiting for: the value. This is where the story takes an incredible turn. While most people might see a 20-cent coin and dismiss it, collectors have recognized a rare variation of the 2010 South African 20-cent coin that is in exceptional condition. And here's the remarkable part: some of these coins have reached values as high as $11 million in specialized auction settings. Yes, that's right. What seemed like an ordinary coin in your pocket or coin jar can potentially be worth more than the price of a luxury car, a house, or even a small business. This is why coins are more than just currency. They are hidden treasures, waiting to be recognized and appreciated. They remind us that value is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who know how to look for it. And for men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, this is not just a financial opportunity. It's a chance to reconnect with history, to preserve something for future generations, and to experience the thrill of discovery that never really fades, no matter your age.so. If you've ever come across a coin and thought, it's just spare change, take a second look. The story of this 2010 South African 20-cent coin proves that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. And remember, the world of coins is full of hidden gems like this one, each with its own story, its own history, and its own incredible potential value. Don't forget to subscribe so you can keep exploring these amazing stories, uncover hidden treasures, and learn the secrets of coins that most people overlook. You never know when the next discovery could be sitting right in your pocket, your drawer, or your collection, waiting to reveal its astonishing worth. Today, we saw that a simple 20-cent coin from 2010 South Africa can reach a value as staggering as $11 million, proving once again that in the world of collectibles, patience, knowledge, and attention to detail can lead to extraordinary rewards. Imagine holding a slender silver-toned disc that once passed through countless hands, bridging past and present with every glint in the light. That is the story behind the 1971 South African 20-cent coin, a small piece, yet one that carries echoes of history, design, national identity, and the unending allure of rare collectibles. Back in 1971, South Africa was amidst its era of decimal currency, and the 20-cent coin was a familiar everyday piece. Made of nickel, it weighed about 6 grams and measured 24.2 millimeters across, with a smooth, unadorned edge. Munstuck International Coins Plus One. Its surface tells two stories at once. One side bearing the national coat of arms, the other side featuring the King Protea, the striking floral emblem native to the land. Online Coin Club Plus 2. Munstuck International Coins Plus 2 around the coat of arms. The legends SUID Africa and South Africa bracket the date 1971, while the designer's initials TS for Tommy Sassine rest beneath. Online Coin Club Plus 2. Last Dodo Plus 2 on the reverse, tucked beside the petals. The numeric 20 marks its face value, with the same designer's initials. Online Coin Club Plus 1. In its day, the coin was common currency, circulating widely across markets, shops, street vendors, and pocket change. It was minted in large numbers. About 5,893,000 pieces were struck in 1971. Ferronum Plus 2. Last Dodo Plus 2. That kind of mintage ensured many entered general circulation, and over time, many were lost, damaged, or worn beyond recognition. Few survived in pristine condition. What gives a coin like this its power among collectors is not just age or metal, but condition, rarity of pristine examples, and emotional connection. A coin heavily worn loses crispness and detail. The tips of the Protea's petals blur, the coat of arms shields and supporters soften, and little marks and scratches mar its shine. But one in nearly mint or uncirculated state can still reflect crisp engraving, sharp edges, and strong visual contrast between relief and field. Even though most examples today are found in grades of fine, very fine, or extra fine, that does not erase their fascination. Collectors study toning, surface luster, strike quality, and how evenly the metal aged. But their modest value in typical grades also makes them accessible to many. In auction records and reference catalogs, values for normal circulated condition often range from a few cents to $1 or $2, far from astronomical. Ferronum Plus 2. Ferronum Plus 2 1 listing for a collector shop offered a 1971 nickel 20-cent coin for about €6, roughly USD 6 to 7, in solid condition. Vcoins Plus 2. Vcoins Plus 2. These modest prices reflect how plentiful specimens remain, especially in non-perfect condition. Still, the dream for many collectors is the elusive specimen that seems untouched by time. Full mint luster, no contact marks, flawless strike, perfect surfaces. Such coins are rare in existence, and their scarcity raises hearts. When the right coin surfaces in an auction, whispers stir in numismatic circles. The idea of a seemingly ordinary coin fetching a wildly outsized price captures the imagination. After all, the numismatic world once saw ordinary coins fetch extraordinary sums because of condition, provenance, or error, in creating a script or video around this coin. One must guide the listener's journey. Start with its design, weave in its era and daily use, then lift into the aspirational side of numismatics. The possibility that a simple coin might one day be regarded as priceless. Paint a picture of someone discovering it tucked away in a dusty box or in a small antique shop drawer and realizing what others might have overlooked. Keep listeners engaged. Call attention to the visual details, the fine lines on the pertia petals, the graceful curves in the scrollwork of the coat of arms, the way light dances off the nickel surface when tilted just so. Point out how subtle differences in mint quality, toning, or surface condition can dramatically shift a coin's appeal to a collector. You might even suggest your viewers imagine how many hands, pockets, counters, and cash drawers this coin passed through in the 1970s, 80s, and beyond, each leaving behind a whisper of wear.